So happy evening to all of you. So today we are going to discuss the most important topic. After hearing to this communication model topic, you will be becoming more successful and more efficient in communication. So this is the Milton model of presentation, making the things excitement and energetic before the talk, before the topic. Myself, Dr. BALLARAPU GIRIJA KUMARI, working as an anesthesiologist at Bird Hospital, Tirupati. So I have done my MBBS from WIMS Ballari, Karnataka. I am born, brought up from Karnataka. So I have done my MBBS from WIMS Government Medical College, Ballari. And I have done my diploma in anesthesia at JJMMC Davangere. And I have done my DNB in anesthesia at Nizam's Institute of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad. So presently I am working in Bird Hospital for past 11 years. And myself have done train the trainer program at this Impact 32 batch. And I am also now presently NLP practitioner. Basic certificate. This is my introduction. Let's move on to the topic. So before going to the actual communication model, that is submodalities. So let us discuss about the modalities. There are, as we all very well know, that there are 5 senses in our body, sense organs in our body. That is visual, olfactory, auditory, kinesthetic, and gustatory. So among these, the most powerful are visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Among these is the kinesthetic, that is the touch, the feelings, the sensations are the most priority one, the most powerful one. So gustatory and olfactory are given less importance. Like why these are? This is how we communicate. These are the ways that we are taking the communication from outside and receiving. That is the power of what we are taking into our brain. These are the events happening outside that we are receiving through either visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, or gustatory. And the most impressive is the kinesthetic, we say. So all these things, the event one, we say that one, that is the actual things happening outside in the reality. And what we are taking that one, and what we are perceiving actually through those things is, and we actually create certain sort of things, that is the event 2. Before it goes from event 1 to event 2, what we do exactly is the DDG. That is, it is not Dilwale Duniya Le Jayenge or something. It is deletion, distortion, and generalization of the things. So we do all these things in our brain before coming to some impression and carrying that impression, going into certain sort of state. For example, there one event is given to, like for example, if we are purchasing a saree. So we have different touch sensation. That saree may like for me, and some other person may describe it as some other thing, like you don't like, they don't like, they have certain feelings, we have certain feelings. So that's how, like a same single saree, we have so much meaning. So many people will tell in so many ways. So the actual thing is different, but what we are taking is different. So many people have so many ways of communication by receiving those same thing into their mind. So through this, how we have to take this one is what this neuro-linguistic program, what we are getting trained here. Here, after taking certain things, deletion, distortion, or generalization of the actual thing which is happening outside, that is the event 1, we are getting converted into the event 2. We are creating certain impression. After creating certain impression, that is called the event 2. After this event 2, so certain things like images, feelings, or the actual things happening. So all these things will form a state. After going through all these things, will form certain emotions will come outside. That is the state actually. That is the state we have created by seeing the event 1. That event 1, after event 2 has come and we have created certain state, from the event 2, we are going either into the resourceful state or unresourceful state. So we are going to either resourceful or unresourceful state. So if we are going to resourceful state, what is this resourceful state? Resourceful state is like problem do occur to everyone. So we will go into positive modality, that trying to solve the problem instead of trying to concentrate on the person. And so in trying to solve the problems, we'll stay happy, joyful, motivated, healthy, and trying to solve. This is how we will be when we are in the resourceful state. But once we are in unresourceful state, so whatever impressions we have taken, we go into unresourceful state, what is happening outside. And we created certain impression and we came to a state, and from there we went into the unresourceful state. There in the unresourceful state, we only think of the problem. I got the problem, I got the problem. Instead of thinking that trying to find the solution, we think that we only in this entire life has got so much problems in our life, and go into a sort of depression, sad, anger, and all this negativity. So in trying to go into this negativity, we create certain actions, which becomes ultimately, it becomes it's not productive. It's not productive. So if it is a resourceful side, we'll go into an unhappy mood, and the things, whatever we are doing in this active mood, will definitely become a successful state. So we will go into we'll reach success stage. So it all depends upon how we are taking into our brain is what we become finally. So here, what happens, why, like if you go into resourceful state, why we become so much of motivated and so much of thing that we go into a successful stage, active and successful stage, is because we got 4 hormones here. That is dopamine, DOSE, it is remembered as, that is dopamine, O for oxytocin, S for serotonin, and E for endorphins. So dopamine is an activating, energetic hormone, active hormone. Likewise, oxytocin is a bonding hormone. That is the mother and child, how they get bonded to. And serotonin is an like how we explore into, or when we start helping others, the happiness what we get. And the E is endorphin, through exercise we get. So all these are positive hormones which are released in our body. So that is making us, giving us energy, and that's why we are becoming, through that energy, we are keeping going into an actives, or like we are actually becoming a successful and productive people in our life, or actually we are becoming achievers. So then like what happens here, like when we are keeping on thinking the problems, is that like that sort of hormones will be released in our body, that is adrenaline and cortisol hormones will be released. This is again right brain and left brain activation, where the left brain, always logical thinking, will give all these cortisols and hormones. So all these cortisol and adrenaline hormones, which causes depression, sad, anger, and that's why we deteriorate in our health issues, and we get the health problems, and finally whatever we do is a big failures happening in our life. So likewise, when we can think like certain people, they actually participate in sports and they get some prize, or they participate in some competition, they get prize. They become so happy, and their body also will become in a superhuman pose, and they become resourceful. And that's why that is the body and mind listen together. If body goes into resourceful state, that is in an active stage, then obviously the mind also will receive the same. That's why our thinking also will move on to the other side. Likewise, so we have come to know that why we have to be in resourceful state, why not in unresourceful state, and so how the event 1, which is happening in the reality, how we are carrying that is event 2 and to the state that is meaningful, meaning what meaning we are actually carrying from the we are carrying actual things happening in the life. So this meaning is very important, because what meaning we are carrying is what we are going to become. So here, how we have to change our meaning. This changing of the meaning is actually metamodel. That is deletion, distortion, and generalization, which is happening in our brain. That is what I have told earlier. That is distortion, deletion, and generalization, what is happening in our brain. So is what? If you can change that deletion, distortion, and generalization, we create a very good state, that is resourceful state, and we become a successful people in this life. So this is deletion, distortion. What is this deletion, distortion, and generalization? We all very well know that what we sow is so we reap. So if you sow bad things in your mind, that's what you reap. Bad crop will come. If you sow good crops, good seeds, you'll get good crop. So likewise, by doing all these deletion, distortion, and generalizations, for example, what is this deletion? So many things will be happening in our mind. So many events will be happening outside at a time. Maybe like it is a 2,000 events, or 2,000 bytes of events will be happening outside. But we only 99.9% is deleted, only 0.1% is received. So what we are actually focusing is very important here. We need to delete it. We need to delete the things which are not necessary for us and focus only on the things which are necessary for us. Unnecessary and necessary. Likewise, what is distortion? Distortion is actually, say for example, deletion. If so many things is happening around me now, so many things, my son is roaming here and there now, and I'm sitting here, fan sound is coming, so many things are happening, like that side some sound is coming for me, but I'm only focused on teaching here, on telling what I know here. So likewise, I have deleted all those things and only kept what is necessary for me. So when we come to distortion, distortion is actually something has happened, actually something, but we perceive something in our brain. For example, we call up a friend, they don't receive. We actually wanted to share something. So we called up our friend, they didn't receive. Second time, they didn't receive. So tomorrow again, I'll call. So maybe today she might be busy. So tomorrow she will receive my call. She saw entire night, but she didn't receive my call. Even the next day morning when I called also, she didn't receive. I start doing some distortion. I will actually, she will be busy and she was not able to receive. Maybe she met with an accident, or she had some personal issues, or she attended a function and she has forgotten her phone in the home. So many things have happened in her life. But what I create is that distorted thing. Like, no, she don't like me. That's why she is doing me like that. That's why she didn't receive. Like otherwise, why she didn't receive? Even in the morning, at least overnight, she would have seen my call. So even till now, she didn't call me, means that is like, no, she don't like me. I know she don't like me. Is what distorted thing we have. Actual thing, reality, it is happening something, and what we have created event to is entirely different. So this is the distortion image, distortion and generalization. For example, in the classroom, we have gone to, we being a teachers, so we have gone to the class and we are about to, so some two students start so two students are actually fighting or actually creating a nuisance. So second time you go and teach the class, same thing again, two students will say, another two students maybe. So third time or fourth time, I'll generalize it. This class A section is always like this. They are naughty people. So I have classified, though that class is having 40 people, only 4 people have done the mistake. I have generalized the statement to the entire class. So this is the generalization. We generalize the things. Something is not happening to me always. So how we can eliminate all these things? How we can come to the resourceful state when before generalizing? Always negative, we are more attracted to the negative things than the positive things. Though 99 positive things happens in our life, only one negative happens. We only catch hold of the negative things in our life. So how maximum we can try to reduce this one and go into the resourceful state. Finally, our going into the resourceful state is very, very important for us, because we want to become a successful people. So here, like for example, deletion I told, like just a minute. There are so many things, like we start comparing with some other thing, some other person, actual opinion will be different, and actual subject will be different. They are not sincere, or comparing, your product is too costly, and whatever your way of presentation, you are not doing like them. All these things is comparing. So opinion, if like health is like whatever exercise you do, it is fate, like whatever diabetes and all, it will come, eventually it will come. How much ever healthy you are, it will come. So then you need to ask them, can you please elaborate on this thing, how you felt that being healthy is making you causing diabetes in general, whether you do exercise, you don't do exercise, how did you come to that conclusion? So by trying to extract, like for example, if you think that 2000 bytes are there of a bundle of one question is formed from 2000 bytes of things, try to make it to simplify it to only one part. So then they will tell, some of my family members had that one, that's why I thought like that. So maybe like that. So otherwise you can tell to them by deleting. That's your opinion. Actually, it is not, in the reality, it is not like that. Many people don't get diabetes by doing exercise. It is your opinion that you have decided that doing exercise doesn't matter or not in relation with the diabetes. That's how you can delete certain things and be in the positive state. And if you come to the distortion state, some people will come and, hey, you are looking upset today. Why you are looking upset? You daily will be active. Why you are upset? So then you should ask them, what really made you that that we exactly made you, why are you thinking like that? So how did you come to that conclusion that I'm upset? So that's how you will eliminate certain things and you will try to answer them clearly, or you yourself will get to clarity of what, and you are going to interpret some things, some kind of things like someone will come and ask, so he doesn't look at me, he dislikes me. See, whenever I go and talk to him, he don't talk to me properly. So you should tell in such a way that you should either, if other person is saying that one, you should filter them in such a way that you should ask him, how did you come to that conclusion? So how does if he doesn't like you, made you to think this sort? So by doing all these things, you are actually going to come to one single answer. And then generalization. In generalization, it is like universal thing. As already I have told you, like all this class A section is completely naughty class. So in that way, you should tell, how did you think that the entire class A is, you came to the conclusion that it is naughty. So that's how you'll come to know. Then they will tell that it is from some to actual people who are causing the problem. Then there are something like in generalization, stoppers. Stoppers is like they tell that I can't do this work, I can't, it is not for me, this sort of work is not for me, I'm not made for that one. So then waking at 5 o'clock is not my job, it is not me, it will not. Late night I can sleep how much ever, but morning I cannot get up. So these sort of things will be running. So if you here to what happens if you wake at 5 o'clock in the morning? What are the benefits you face? Then they will go into, or we ourselves will go into a positive. This is a dual question. We have to ask to ourselves and we have to ask to others when they are communicating. So this is how we come. And there are certain drivers also in generalization. In the drivers, we actually have to tell them that if I have to, a lot of pressure will happen if I tell I have to do this one. There is some targets. So like how in office or some job, corporates, they will give certain targets. So stressful you feel, and that's how you go into unresourceful state. So instead of going into that sort of state, we can actually tell them I want to shifting. So that gives a lot of freedom here. So this is what the meta model and communication model is. So mainly by how we receive, that is how we are going to convert the event 1 to event 2 is very important thing. So what you have to delete, what you have to distort, how we have to not to generalize, not to distort, and how we have to delete the things to come into the resourceful state. So that your body and your mind, everything, and your visuals, everything will be in the active stage and you will become resourceful state. This is what is the meta model class. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.